welcome back to another edition of the Unbearable podcast. I'm Drew Testa, and with me always is Ryan Voss. Voss, how are you doing today?
Good, Drew. How are you?
Not bad. It's pretty chilly, so I'm inside for this edition, which is, a rarity, but gotta do what I gotta do.
How do you feel about Tony La Russa?
I mean, at first I was pretty disappointed, but the more I think about it, I feel like he could whip these guys into line so that Dallas Keuchel doesn't have to do it anymore because he's not going to take any of this losing. Like, he didn't come back to lose.
Right.
So I'm going to give him a shot. You got to give him a shot at least.
Yeah, and I think what he's gonna do is set it up for the next guy. I think he's gonna try to hire a bench coach under him or something, and he's gonna try to groom that guy for the future. So I mean, by this move, it tells us anything we already knew it, but they're gonna go all out and they're gonna spend money this offseason too, because they're not walking away and making this hire if they're not gonna win in the next year or two. So
that, and he brings experience because we don't really have much experience in terms of players, and like he's been. I mean, experience for him is an understatement. Like this guy's been around for like 50 years, so
yeah,
he knows everything there is.
Sometimes we'll talk about other stuff, not just always Bears, but this episode we're not going to do picks. We just with the Monday game and some stuff we had going on, picks aren't going to happen this week. I am going to post the updated scores, so there's them now. They're posted. This episode we're just going to be. Oh shit! Did you get in trouble for not wearing a mask?
No, but I think someone's coming in, so just to be safe.
All right. This week we're just going to be previewing the Saints game, and I definitely feel different about this team than I did last week at this point. Drew, what are you thinking about this game?
It's going to be interesting because, I mean, first and foremost, I think the main storyline going into this game is that both teams' top wide receiver are not playing. Allen Robinson and Michael Thomas are both not expected to play. So that obviously changes things a little bit more. And I think it hurts the Bears more than the Saints because the Saints have, more weapons. They have Alvin Kamara, Traquan Smith, obviously a way better quarterback with Breeze. But not having Thomas out there for the Saints does make the Bears game plan easier because Michael Thomas is obviously an elite wide receiver.
Emmanuel Sanders is also out for the Saints. I'm glad we recorded this podcast after that Michael Thomas news came out because it's just if any time, like, you don't want to wish injury against any player, but the Bears, if the Bears are playing the Panthers, I'd rather them not play McCaffrey. If the Bears are playing the Saints, I'd rather them not play Thomas. So, I mean, we kind of got lucky due to the detriment of other people. Last year, they did not face Drew Brees or Alvin Kamara. So, the Saints did play the Bears last year, but this defense had a game plan for Teddy Bridgewater and Latavius Murray. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with their game plan as far as how they're going to attack Brees and attack Kamara, who's going to likely run all over them on Sunday.
Yeah, Kamara obviously is one of the best dual threat running backs in the NFL. Having him out there is going to be hard because you have to watch him in the run. He's very explosive, but also in the pass. He's more or less the new version of Le'Veon Bell when he was in Pittsburgh, the way he plays, where he runs really effective routes, can get a lot of yards after the catch. And he's definitely got to be the focal point that the Bears defense is like, we cannot let this guy beat us.
And the guy I think the Bears defense is going to turn to do that is going to be Roquan Smith. Usually, the Bears have a lot of rushing yards because of their defensive line, but I think the main key is going to be Roquan Smith doing whatever Alvin Kamara does this week. He's going to have to, be able to run sideline to sideline, break up any pass plays, and also be ready for the run. So Roquan Smith, who has had a tough season, I think it's going to be a big task for him on Sunday. And if I was Chuck Pagano, I would point towards Roquan Smith. You need an athletic guy to match his athleticism, Kamara's.
Yeah, and the way Roquan Smith has been playing, that might not be a very inspiring thing to hear, but Trevathan just simply isn't the athlete to cover Kamara. And unless you want to put Buster Screen, who's our slot corner, on him, we really don't have another option beside Roquan.
Yeah. Now, as far as Drew Brees, what I suspect is it's going to be a lot of the same game plan that they had for Brady. Just because, Brees is older now, he's not going to be able to move around. So what they're going to want to do is make him force quick passes, and that pass rush should be guns a-blazing on Sunday.
Yeah, we need to be ready to dial it up because Drew Brees, I mean, it doesn't take a genius to find it out. He's been in the league a long time. He's a very good quarterback, but he's not mobile like whatsoever. So you gotta try to keep him to get rid of throwing the ball fast, and that's going to be even harder for him to do without Michael Thomas, who led the league in receptions last year, and not only to lead the league, he set the all-time record. So you take away that guy and you send a huge pass rush, we really have a chance to make things difficult on his offense.
Do you think the Rams kind of provided a game plan on how to counteract the Bears defense? Do you think we're going to see a lot more like, screens and a lot more option plays, misdirection in the backfield, bootlegs?
I think we'll see a variety of that, especially like what we talked about, Alvin Kamara. But one thing the Rams did a lot was bootlegs, and Drew Brees not the type who's going to run any bootlegs anytime soon. So a variety of that, but I think they're going to lean heavily towards the rush, try to get Latavius Murray involved, especially because of what he did to us last year. So I think they're going to come out and try to be more run heavy.
All right, let's talk about the Bears offense and the Saints defense. Are you good to move on?
Yeah.
This offense isn't good, and we just got worse because Cody Whitehair's out, James Daniels out, so we're gonna have Sam Mustipher be the new center. And
I don't even know who that is, to be completely honest with you.
I've heard his name, but I don't think he has any experience actually starting. And then you got Rashad Coward, which I wish we could see what
he's not good at all.
But yeah, Coward is terrible. So an already struggling offense just got even worse.
And that hurts, especially because, in my opinion, one of the most underrated pass rushers in the league is Cameron Jordan from the Saints. And he's not an edge rusher. He's not going to be lined up on the tackle. He's more of a hand in the ground 4-3 lineman, which means he'll be rushing the inside. And the way our interior offensive line has looked, when you have to go up against a guy like Cam Jordan, we could be in for a rough day because he could have the ability to take over games on defense.
Yeah, you bring up Cam Jordan. Other than that, I haven't been entirely impressed with the Saints defense. I think they were better the previous 2 years. I think, and except for that game, the first week 1 against Brady, I don't think the Saints defense has been playing to its best. I don't know what you think about that.
I believe they lost a corner last year. They had Eli Apple. He's no longer with them. I think that's hurt them more than people realize. I know he's not like a big name, but I mean, he was a first-round pick, and he's a solid corner. He's gone. And outside of Marshawn Lattimore, I really couldn't tell you a single player that starts in this secondary. So that's how we're going to have to attack them. That's going to be obviously more difficult without our top wide receiver, but we need Darnell Mooney to step up. We need Anthony Miller to step up. Maybe even Javon Wims to step up a little bit because we're going to have to try to go vertical if we're going to win this game.
Do you think that Ted Ginn is active on Sunday? Especially he's playing his former team. It was a Saint, but
I know a lot of people after last week were kind of like hating on him, but I think when you're down a receiver, you need to go activate another one. So I think having him inactive really doesn't make any sense. I think even if he's not used heavily, just the threat of having him out there is something that you have to consider.
I would like to see Riley Ridley be active for once on Sunday. And I don't know who else you could get back there to field punts, but I don't want to see Ted Ginn back.
I don't understand why we just don't have Cordarrelle Patterson return punts. Like, it can't be that much different than kicks. I would at least give him a shot. That doesn't make any sense why he doesn't do that to me.
All right, anything else you want to say about the Saints defense or the Bears offense?
It all starts with blocking. If we can't block, we're not going to win. It's as simple as that. So whatever they need to do to correct that should be priority number 1. And then everything else will be easier with better blocking. If we're not able to block, and if we block the way we did last week, we're just not going to win. It's just that simple.
Yeah, there was that quote from the broadcast on Monday that kind of got misquoted, but Nick Foles said, Nagy's calling plays that I don't even have time to run. And it kind of made it look bad on Nagy, but what I think Foles was really saying was the offensive line gives him absolutely no time. I think they're calling plays that would be good if he had the normal ample amount of time to make a throw or go through the right progressions and reads. But as soon as the ball's hit, Nick Foles is, having to try to just force it to someone, and that's not good to play. I mean, a lot of people were calling back for Trubisky because he's a little bit more mobile than Foles, and offensive line did look better when Trubisky was playing, but I mean, we'll see. Right now, Foles is the starter, but I wouldn't be surprised if eventually, they turn back to Trubisky just because of the offensive line so bad. Do you kind of know what I'm saying?
I agree, but Nagy is supposed to be this offensive, this genius play caller, this great offensive mind. He has got to find a way to utilize Trubisky's mobility, even if Foles is in there.
Right.
The Philadelphia Eagles, something you've seen they've been doing is have Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts on the field at the same time. Why not try something like that? Why not run dual quarterback sets? Try to get Trubisky involved. It can't hurt.
Right.
And his mobility is a very good weapon. And I don't understand why they haven't at least tried it. I get you pulled him, you want to go with Foles, but he's still on the team. He's still active every week. Try to find a way to use his strengths in a way that could help us, even if he's not the starting quarterback.
Right, or just even pull a page out of Sean Payton's playbook and make him Taysom Hill, or we see
something like that.
RG3 and Lamar Jackson. There's a way, I think, and I mean Trubisky isn't a terrible quarterback. He's not the answer, but let's try to use his mobility because we need something mobile, and then with his offensive line, and then defenses will have to respect it. So that's just us putting on our offensive coordinator thinking caps. So
yeah, exactly.
That happens.
Give us a fucking chance.
Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
All right. Yeah, no picks episode this week, just short on time, but we should be back next week with a normal slate. We'll be back Sunday, if not Monday, with recapping the Bears game. And we appreciate you guys watching. So
we got to do predictions before we go out of here, though. You almost forgot.
All right. Yeah. You go ahead first.
I've been thinking about it a lot. I think the Bears have a chance. I think they have a better chance. I felt better. Let me put it this way. When the Bears played the Buccaneers, we both picked them to lose. And I'm going to pick the Bears to lose again this week. But I think they have a better chance in this game than I did going into the Tampa game, if that makes sense.
That's fair. I would say Tampa's a better team than the Saints.
Yeah, right now for sure.
But I don't think the Bears are as good as a team as they were 3 weeks ago.
Probably not.
Not with the offense. So that's like the thing. That's why you go ahead.
Yeah, so it's balancing. At the end of the day, I'm gonna say 27-20 Saints. I think it's gonna be close, but I think the Saints are just at the end of the day, fourth quarter, our defense is gonna get tired and their offense is gonna come through and give them a touchdown that we're not gonna be able to match.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more low scoring and a little bit more lopsided. I think it's going to be 24 Saints, 13 Bears. I sure hope not. Hopefully the Bears. I mean, I do see a scenario. I do see a way the Bears can win, but I just don't have much faith right now. So that's reflected in my prediction.
But last time we both picked the Bears to lose, they won. So that we got that going for us.
All right, guys. Like and subscribe. Make sure you put yours. Prediction in the comments, and we will see you post game after Sunday.